Is the final season of the Pac-12 football conference as we know it, and this season the Pac-12 teams decided to play absolutely crazy. We are already into week number 5 of the college football season, and the Pac-12 is looking like the best conference in college football. So let's get into breaking down why the Pac-12 is the best conference in college football this season. Yes, you heard that right, I did not stutter, I'm talking about the Pac-12. The Pac-12 currently has some of the best teams in college football, as they currently have 6 teams ranked inside the AP Top 25 poll. And actually, they have 4 teams ranked inside the AP Top 10. And this is just absolutely ridiculous out of the Pac-12. They are playing their best football this conference has ever seen in their final season. And the teams ranked include USC at number 8, Oregon at number 9, Utah at number 10, Washington at number 7, Washington State at number 16, and Oregon State at number 19. And we also cannot forget that Colorado was ranked until they lost to another Pac-12 Oregon team. And also, UCLA was ranked last week too, but they ended up losing to Utah, which again is another Pac-12 team. And honestly, it's just not even close. The Pac-12 is just dominating college football this season from top to bottom. I mean, come on, what other conference this season has 4 teams ranked inside the AP Top 10? And these teams are absolutely amazing, so let's start with the Washington Huskies at number 7. Washington comes in at number 7 in the AP Top 10, and they have absolutely dominated this college football season. They are 4-0, and their next game is against Arizona. This season, Washington's offense has looked absolutely unstoppable under their star quarterback, Penix Jr., who transferred from Indiana 2 seasons ago. Washington Huskies have been destroying teams this college football season, and their real test comes in 2 weeks as they take on the Oregon Ducks. And speaking of Oregon, we will talk about them next. Oregon, like Washington, is 4-0, and they have an absolutely explosive offense like Washington, led by their star quarterback, Bo Nix. Oregon has been just destroying teams and scoring so many points every single game. Their toughest game this season came against Texas Tech, and it closed 38-30. However, they would still end up pulling off this victory at Texas Tech Stadium. And Oregon looks absolutely unstoppable this college football season. But next up, let's talk about the USC Trojans, who are also 4-0 and are the only team that has played 2 games in conference, and they are 2-0, of course. And again, it seems like this just every Pac-12 team. USC has a star-studded quarterback in Caleb Williams. Williams won the Heisman last season, and it's looking like he could repeat. He is absolutely carrying USC's offense, and they are absolutely steamrolling every team in their path. And their first huge test comes this week as they take on the Colorado Buffaloes at Colorado Stadium, and we will see if they can do what Oregon did to Colorado last week. And the final team ranked inside the top 10 in the Pac-12 is the Utah Utes, who are also 4-0. And you can't forget, they're doing all of this without their star-studded quarterback, Cameron Rising, who got hurt and tore his ACL in the Rose Bowl last season and still has yet to play this year. And somehow Utah is still 4-0, and it's all due to that loaded defense. Utah has probably the best defense in the Pac-12, and they're showing out week in and week out. And last week they had a huge victory over UCLA, and this week they have to take on a very good Oregon State team who is also ranked at 19, and we will see if they can continue their streak. And the final specific team I want to discuss in the Pac-12 is Washington State. Obviously, Washington State is 4-0 like every other team in the Pac-12 it seems. However, they are number 16 in the nation, and they have a huge test this week as they have to take on UCLA. However, their biggest test of the season so far came against Oregon State last week, and they would end up defeating the Beavers. And yes, like every other team in the Pac-12, Washington State has one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country in Cameron Ward. I really just don't understand why no one is talking about Cameron Ward, as he's probably the best quarterback in college football so far this season. I mean, his stats just back it up. He's thrown for 1,390 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions this season. And he's just absolutely carrying Washington State, and he looks like one of the best quarterbacks in college football. And honestly, why is no one talking about him? However, anyways, that segments me onto my last reason why the Pac-12 is the best conference in college football, and it is due to their quarterbacks. The Pac-12 honestly might have the top 4 quarterbacks in college football this season, and it's not even close. Name a better quarterback than Caleb Williams. I'll wait. Or even Cameron Ward. I'll wait. Name a better quarterback than either of these two. Or even Penix. He potentially could win the Heisman this season. And let's not even get started with Bo Nix, who's having one of his best seasons at Oregon thus far. All 4 of these quarterbacks, Bo Nix, Cameron Ward, Penix, and Caleb Williams could all win the Heisman this season, and they are all frontrunners to win the Heisman this year. All of these quarterbacks are playing absolutely amazing this season, and it just proves why the Pac-12 is the best conference. They literally have the best offenses led by the best quarterbacks in college football. And it's not even close. The best quarterbacks in college football play in the Pac-12, and it's just unreal that this is the final season of the Pac-12 as we know it, and they're literally having their best season yet.